Hey there, I'm so glad you're here today. Take a breath, relax. Because today we're diving into one of Jesus' most famous short stories, the parable of the wise and foolish builders. It's found in Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 to 27, and also in Luke chapter 6, verses 47 to 49. It's a simple story, but it's packed with meaning. And when you really think about it, it's not just about building houses, it's about building your life. So, let's picture it. Jesus has been teaching crowds of people. He's just finished saying a lot about what it means to follow him. Things like loving your enemies, forgiving others, not judging, staying humble. And then he ends his message with this story, like a final mic drop moment. He says something like this: "Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it didn't fall because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." That's it. Just a few sentences, but wow, it says everything about what kind of life we're building. Two people are building houses. From the outside, the houses probably looked pretty similar. They both had walls, roofs, doors, windows. They both might have been cozy and looked good on the surface, but the difference wasn't what people saw. It was what people couldn't see, the foundation. One builder dug deep down to solid rock. The other one didn't bother. He built right on the sand, fast, easy, probably cheaper. When the weather was good, both houses looked fine. But when the storm came, that's when the difference showed up. That's such a powerful image, because that's exactly how life works. On calm days, it's hard to tell who's really built strong. But when storms hit, when life gets messy, confusing, painful, that's when the foundation matters. Imagine two people, let's call them Alex and Jordan. Both go to church sometimes. Both scroll through inspirational quotes on TikTok. Both say they believe in God. But Alex actually applies what Jesus says. They forgive when it's hard. They pray when anxious. They choose honesty even when it costs something. They're not perfect, but they're trying to live it out. Jordan, on the other hand, hears the same messages but doesn't do anything with them. They like the idea of Jesus, but they never really let his words shape their choices. Both of them look fine when life's easy, but then the storm hits, a breakup, a job loss, family drama, a betrayal. Suddenly, one life stays standing and the other collapses, not because one person had a better life, but because one person had a better foundation. That's what Jesus is saying. He's not talking about construction. He's talking about your spiritual core. He's saying, if you want a life that can handle the storms, you've got to build on me. That means hearing his words isn't enough. You've got to live them. It's like this. Hearing truth without living it is like downloading a fitness app and never working out. You might feel like you're doing something, but your life never gets stronger. Or it's like saving hundreds of self-improvement TikToks and never actually trying any of the advice. The information's there, but the transformation never happens. That's what Jesus was warning about. Spiritual scrolling, lots of hearing, not much doing. Notice that both builders go through storms. The rain came for both. The flood rose for both. The wind hit both houses. Jesus doesn't say that if you follow him, you'll avoid the storm. He says you'll survive it. That's huge, because some people think faith means nothing bad will happen. But Jesus never promised that. He promised something better, that when the hard stuff comes, you won't fall apart. Life will still hit you. You'll still cry. You'll still feel pressure. But deep down, you'll know, and I'm standing on something solid. That's peace. That's strength. That's real faith. What's your life actually built on? Because everyone's building on something. Some people build on success, chasing the next promotion, the next degree, the next business win. Others build on popularity, needing likes, followers, and validation. Some build on relationships, feeling complete only when someone loves them. And some build on comfort, avoiding anything that feels difficult. But here's the truth. Every one of those foundations can shift. Jobs end, people change, trends move on, comfort fades. That's sand. And sand doesn't stay still when storms come. It shifts right out from under you. But when you build on Jesus, when your life is grounded in his truth, his character, his way of living, You've got something that doesn't move. That's what rock means. It's not just religion, it's relationship, it's trust, it's stability when everything else feels shaky. Think about your phone battery. You might have the newest iPhone, all the best apps, and a beautiful case. But if the battery's dead and it's useless, you can't text, can't call, can't post. You need power. Now imagine your faith like that battery. You can decorate your life, achievements, hobbies, money, looks, all good things. But without real connection to God's power, through prayer, through obedience, through trust, it all drains fast. Jesus is saying, don't just decorate the outside, charge the inside, stay connected to the source. That's what keeps your foundation strong. What's your foundation right now like, honestly? What's holding you up when you're stressed, lonely, or afraid? If it's people, what happens when they're gone? If it's money, what happens when that changes? If it's reputation, what happens when people talk? See, storms reveal what we've been building on. They show whether it's rock or sand. And maybe right now you've realized your house is wobbling a bit. That's okay. This parable isn't about judgment. It's an invitation to rebuild. Building on the rock doesn't mean being perfect. It means being intentional. It means saying, God, I want to live what I believe. When you forgive someone who hurt you, that's building on rock. When you choose honesty instead of lying to make life easier, that's building on rock. When you read Jesus' words and actually apply them, that's building on rock. When you pray even when you don't feel like it, that's building on rock. When you love your neighbor instead of gossiping about them, yep, rock again. These small choices add up. They create a life that's rooted, steady, unshakable. Jesus didn't tell this parable to random strangers. He told it to people who were listening and people who already liked his teachings. That's important. He was saying it's not enough to listen. You've got to live it. He was calling out the kind of faith that stops at good intentions, because intentions don't build foundations, actions do. It's like hearing a fire alarm and saying, wow, that's loud, but not getting out of the building. Awareness doesn't save you. Action does. So how do we actually start building on the rock? Start small. Start where you are. Pick one area of your life and ask, what would Jesus want me to do here? Then do that, even if it's hard, even if nobody else does. Maybe it's forgiving someone who doesn't deserve it. Maybe it's choosing patience instead of snapping. Maybe it's being generous when you'd rather keep to yourself. Maybe it's setting boundaries that protect your peace. Each choice adds another brick on a stronger foundation. And over time, your house, your life, becomes something that can't be easily shaken. Think about digital security. If you've ever lost an account or been hacked, you know how important passwords and two-factor authentication are. Without them, someone can mess with your whole setup. In the same way, your spiritual foundation protects your heart from being hacked by fear, pride, comparison, and doubt. It keeps your identity secure because it's built on something that can't be stolen. That's what living on the rock does. It keeps your soul safe. Why would anyone build on sand? Why do people choose the easy way? Because it's faster. It's comfortable. It looks good immediately. Sand feels smooth under your feet until it shifts. Rock takes work. You have to dig. You have to sweat. You have to wait. Building on sand is instant gratification. Building on rock is long-term stability. And that's a big deal in our culture right now, because everything screams fast. Fast food, fast Wi-Fi, fast success, fast relationships. But strong foundations take time, and time tests what's real. So Jesus' message hits especially hard today. Don't rush to look stable. Take time to be stable, because storms will come, and when they do, shortcuts collapse. Maybe you've already gone through a storm. Maybe you've had heartbreak, loss, anxiety, or failure that knocked you flat. If so, I want to say this gently. It's not too late to rebuild. God never looks at your collapsed house and says, too bad. He says, let's start again. This time, let's build on me. That's grace, and that's hope. You can start right now, not with a grand gesture, but with a simple choice to trust Him, to live His words, to stop just hearing and start doing. Think about the storms people face today. For some, it's anxiety, waves of pressure that never seem to stop. For others, it's comparison, feeling less than every time you scroll online. For others, it's disappointment, prayers that seem unanswered. And yet, When your foundation is Jesus, even in those moments, you have peace because your worth isn't built on likes or paychecks or relationships. It's built on something eternal. That's what makes your life unshakable. Take inventory of your life. Where are you building on sand? And where are you standing on rock? Maybe you've been coasting spiritually, showing up but not growing. Maybe you've been listening but not living. Or maybe you're tired and you just need to rebuild stronger this time. Wherever you are, start there. Jesus doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for participation, for faith in action. Think about a video game. Let's say you're building your base in a survival game, like Minecraft. If you build on weak ground, the first enemy attack wipes you out. But if you build deep on stone with strong blocks, you survive. You rebuild, you level up. Faith works the same way. You don't get to skip the challenges, but you can choose how you prepare for them. And the way you build determines whether you crash or stand. So today, make the choice to build wisely. Not perfectly, wisely. You might not see results overnight, but one day when a storm comes, and it will, you'll be glad you did. You'll still be standing because you didn't just hear Jesus' words, you lived them, you built on them, you trusted them, and that makes all the difference. The parable of the wise and foolish builders isn't just an old story about houses. It's a life lesson from the one who knows exactly how storms work. Jesus isn't warning you because he's harsh. He's inviting you to build something that lasts. So wherever you are right now, and whether your foundation feels strong or shaky, you can start again today. Dig deeper, trust more, live out what you've heard. Because when the rain falls and the wind blows and life shakes everything around you, your house doesn't have to fall. You can stand tall because you're built on the rock. Thanks so much for being here today. I hope this gave you something to think about, something to feel, and something to build on. Remember, storms don't define you. Your foundation does. Take care of your heart, stay close to God, and keep building strong. See you next time.